I think some of us believe that with a house and a decent job and some friends and a bit of money on the side, we would be happy. But I'm afraid I'm not one of those people. I don't think that would be enough for me. I don't think it's achievable to begin with, so it's not a real loss, but I don't see myself satisfied in a life like that. My dreams lie elsewhere. At a certain level, ambition starts looking exactly the same as obsession. It becomes the only thing you have space for in your life. And obsession reads very much like addiction. I was told many times that I have a very obsessive personality, which is interesting because I've avoided most of the common addictions. I don't go to parties, I don't drink, I don't smoke, whether it be nicotine or weed, but I do definitely have my own obsessions. One of them being my obsession with the future. I look at the world as it is right now, and I don't hate it, but that's not because there aren't things in it to hate. It's only because I look at it and I think of what it can become. I believe the world is like a child. If neglected or abused, it will grow up to be a horrible person, and I believe that's what's happening with large parts of the world. But if the child is cared for and educated and guided, it can become the sort of person that saves everybody else. The sort of person that can smile and reach their hand out and struggle and think for the sake of others and then act on those thoughts. But the world right now is not like that. Everybody is so preoccupied with the now that we forget about the future, and we're so preoccupied with ourselves we cannot think about others. And I don't blame people for that, the same way I don't blame the world for being as it is. Taking care of yourself is the first priority anybody should have. And if things were different, that would probably be the only thing on my mind as well. A while ago, I talked to another very fortunate but unhappy person, and they told me about how they look around the world and see so many people who have so much less than they do, but are so much happier. How they're satisfied working a dead-end job, coming back to their family, spending moments together, and then passing out trying to get enough sleep for the next day. They told me how, even though our lives are different, we should try to learn from these people and find value in that simple, hard life. But my opinion is different. I think because I have what I have, I should not look down, but rather look up. I should look towards what I can achieve instead of what has already been achieved. I should look at what's possible instead of looking at what is guaranteed. When I say I was lucky, a lot of people will probably think I grew up rich or that I'm rich now, and neither of those are the case. There were a lot of days when I was younger when food was not really guaranteed, and there were many times where we didn't have our own roof over our heads. We would stay over at different people's houses, we would move around a lot. Wherever we could survive, we would try to. And when I say I was lucky, it was because that's no longer the case. I have my own 4 white walls and I don't have to worry about food. I can even put some money away, which a lot of it I've spent buying stuff like the camera I'm recording with right now and the microphone I'm speaking to. I was lucky enough to have enough money for those things and even more. And I was also lucky enough to be able to think about what I'll do with my future and to come in contact with many different possibilities, many examples of what the future might hold. A lot of people or stories that inspired me or changed my outlook. And so I've developed into who I am right now, a person with relatively modest means, but with an ambition which, while it might be mostly invisible right now, it also holds the only future that I can imagine for myself. And I'm hoping that one day that ambition burns as brightly as a fire and shows the obsession which I think is necessary to make it a reality. But no matter what happens, I believe that that future is the only one I have in store. It's the only one that I can imagine. Just like every other addiction, you can't become an alcoholic if you never touch alcohol, and you cannot become bound by your dreams if you cannot imagine a world which is much better than the one you're in. There is no telling if I'll ever make it to my perfect world. There is no telling if I even find the road that leads to it. But I have to try, because there is nothing else that matters.